inner ocean to the outer world, womb, travelling cocoon to dry land. This is a mistake, such a mistake. The invitation makes no mention of the gaping chasm between real lives and human expectation. Apparently here people build galleons in bottles in the name of pleasure. And with every step forward, weeds grew vigorously where once I stood. Stark reality was, as I near touched on this earth, that it was far, far, far too late for me to join the human race. And so began my illicit liaison with life. I tripped, I fell to life, to death, hurt, hungry, and confused. I keep my mother close to me with a deep inward eye, demanding not so much love as unconditional obedience. Father does not like me. He dusts the chair on which the cat has sat and eats a banana with a knife and fork. Discuss.
One day I'll grow up, I'll be a beautiful woman. One day I'll grow up, I'll be a beautiful girl. One day I'll grow up, I'll be a beautiful woman. One day I'll grow up, I'll be a beautiful girl. But for today, I am a child. For today, I am a boy. For today, I am a child. For today, I am a boy. One day I'll grow up, I feel the power in me. One day I'll grow up, of this I'm sure. One day I'll grow up, I'll know room within me. One day I'll grow up, feel it full and pure. But for today, I am a child. For today, I am a boy. For today, I am a child.
Sunlit, dusty attic afternoons in mothers' dressed-up dresses. The expanding horizon could not contain the splendid pyrotechnical imagined lives we were leading. Yes, you can touch me. Yes, I am quite real. School. School now obscured the chance to dream. And then I came. I came and made a wish there and then not to live forever. Miss Longhurst. Who is this girl that you speak so much about? Who is this girl that you speak so much about? Oh, I do so long for one of those bonnets with jet beads on them, and I adore all foreigners. Oh, please don't move to Hampstead. That's where the parents lived, and they were riddled with rheumatism, practically bedridden with rheumatism. They moved, and what you know, within a week they were dancing in the streets of Maidavale. I adore all foreigners. Looking back, I do believe I wasted a rather wonderful woman. In those far-off days, a homosexual person was never anyone that you actually knew, and seldom anyone that you'd actually met.
I ain't much caring just where it will end. I must have that man. I'm like a lover that's crying for him. He treats me awful each time that we meet. It's just unlawful how that boy can cheat, but I must have that man. His heart is Hades, and ladies but safe in his arms when she's kissed. But I'm afraid that he's cooled off, or maybe I'm rude off his lips. I'll never be missed. I need a person much worse than just bad. I'm half alive and he's driving me mad. He's only human if he's to be had. I must have that man.
West End wandering, swinging the hips, the Black Cat Cafe in Old Compton Street. The hitching, the bitching, the cheap chirping porcelain sips. 7 shillings and 6pence in a dark doorway. Earth'll do. He let go of his merciless grip. And so I was his perfume slave. The maximum point of interest exists at the maximum point of contrast. I've seen him! He's an artist from Chelsea. I didn't know. I was sober, drunk on my own existence. My drug of choice was exhibitionism, easily scored. I made up and fluttered a head case, a test case. No one taught me or controlled me. Yes, you can touch me. I am quite real. I took a room at the start. With Nottingham lace curtains. Chelsea, a volatile actress. A fashion designer, a weird mist of a girl. It was a whirl. And we ran in and out of each other's rooms, making tea and talking about our futures. And we ran in and out of each other's rooms, making tea and talking about our futures. And we ran in and out of each other's rooms, making tea and talking about our futures. A room. Not alone, in a room of my own. The Muse in Belgravia. No curtains, a dismal affair. There are things that go on in this house for which the penalty is 7 years imprisonment. Was it the crimson hair? From unfurnished squalor was met with a vacant stare. You've dyed your hair. This clearly is a sign that he is suffering from sexual perversion. I am a homosexual. I am not suffering. I am glorifying. 2 pounds of henna, and the deal was done. The war was being fought, my freedom papers won. You see, I was always of the future. From the future, you see. It just took a while for the world to catch up with me. From the dominant slap on my effeminate face, the wives how they hissed, the street diggers spat on the horizon of our futures. Overwhelmed, underhand, and undignified scenes. You see, I go out at night when most decent people were in their beds' dreams. But if I saw a man in the street drop a pound note, I would overtake him and give it back to him. If I saw a pound note in the gutter and did not know to whom it belonged, I certainly would not take it to the nearest police station. I took a room and took another. 6 shillings a week, a coffin of a bed. If I moved the jug from the washstand, there was a window. I took a peek. I dragged myself up onto the roof and down onto the foot-wide parapet that ran around the top of the house. On this foot-wide parapet, I would lie, hoping for sleep and to fall into the street below, into the arms of the great dark man. Yes, you can touch me. I am quite real. I came, and then I made a wish not to live forever. And with every step forward, weeds grew vigorously in Chorltonville, where last I stood.